Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the DECE Circumnavigation Expedition 6-month halfway special edition. And as you might have noticed from the intro video, we don't have a guest tonight, and there's only me and Macros. Hi, Macros.
Inge.
How are you doing?
Guest, really?
You are my guest.
What are we gonna spend a whole hour about?
Yeah. Just you and me. This is new.
Just you and me.
Well, I think we can come up with something to talk about, I think. But, so, how are you doing?
I haven't spent that much time on the expedition because I found out that one of my alts did not have Duke. And you know what that means, right? Imperial cutter. So I had to make him Duke and I had to give him a cutter.
Yeah, I have been playing with my alt account also quite a lot lately, doing mostly community goals and collecting some money for him because he's quite broke. He just got his anaconda and I was today mining for a long time. I really love mining.
Any profits in mining, or are you mining for the CG?
CG, yes. CG.
Ah, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with my alt account. He should be get back to the Colonia because that's his home now. But I think that he wants to see how the Targoid plan is progressing.
I think the Targoids have been strangely quiet lately.
Yeah. But
not so much anymore.
Yeah, but let's get down to this, our special stream, and where is it? First things first. I need to change the camera because goddamn. Don't go anywhere. We heard from a reliable source that there is one commander who has special day today. Have you heard something similar, Macros?
I heard something along those lines.
Yeah.
And if taking, we have a special surprise for him. Is that correct?
I think we do. I know I said that we don't have cake, but that was a little bit of lie, so here goes.
Oh, that definitely looks like a cake to me.
Yeah, there's cake for you. So, happy birthday, Commander Disorganized. From DECE to you. There's some cake for you, as promised. So, I don't know how many years he will get today, but I think he will enjoy the cake. I think that...
Yeah, I hope so. I didn't know as he is going to be so I didn't put any number on the cake because, well...
Did you bake it yourself?
I did.
Oh, that looked nice. You're really good baker.
I actually found the recipe on Google. It's a Google cake.
A Google cake, yeah. Looked
It's
nice.
a Google cake.
Too bad we can't have a taste. So yeah, that's our birthday. Congratulations to Commander Disorganized. So, 6 months 6 months. It's been 6 months since we departed from what was the system name? Basecamp 0 HIP 23759.
Yes.
And I think that we could talk about a bit how this all began when you posted the forum post. Was it last May? Almost a year ago.
Yeah, almost a year.
Yeah, think of that. It was was it May 15th or something like that? May 26th. So almost a year, 11 months. So how did you come up with going around the galaxy originally?
Well, I did go on the Distant Worlds.
As did I.
Did you? And I was waiting for Distant Worlds 2 to come along, but nothing new was coming from Eramus or Dr. Kai, so...
I know. And I was
along
waiting...
the lines, where is Distant Worlds 2? When is Distant Worlds 2 coming? So... talked about stellar streams. Heard about stellar streams before?
No.
But the theory is a stellar stream is a very small patch of stars that travel via hyperjumps from one galaxy to another galaxy. To find a stellar stream, you would need to be somewhere on the ridge. So if you wanted to go from the Milky Way, which is our galaxy, to the Andromeda galaxy, which is the nearest galaxy.
Yeah.
Fringe, there would be a small patch of stars that no one has discovered yet, and to travel from the Milky Way to the Andromeda galaxy.
Yeah. It's funny that you mentioned that you were waiting news from Distant Worlds 2, and it was exactly what I was doing last year. I was quite sure that Distant Worlds 2 would be starting last year, but then it came out that it's not happening. And I don't know which thread it was at the forums where I expressed my will to have Distant Worlds 2, and was it Erimus who answered to that topic that it's not coming until earliest when 2.4 drops. And I think it was him who said that of course you can arrange something of your own, and I was thinking circumnavigation maybe. And I was going to do it alone first. I was thinking like, I'm not going to make even a thread to the forums about it. I just go. I take my ship and go around the galaxy. But then came your thread. So rest is history.
Yeah, the rest is history.
Yeah.
Actually, you were the first one to sign up.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and for some time...
I stole the idea from you because you were talking about, although you didn't say start a thread about circumnavigation, you talked about circumnavigation, and a circumnavigation was still on my bucket list at that time.
Yeah, but do you know why Do you know why I didn't start a thread? Because I thought that no one would be as insane as I. So I think if I'm going to do this, I have to do this alone.
How wrong you were about that.
Yeah, I have looking all these ships at the mass jump site and all the commanders still on the DECE. I have to admit that I was so wrong. So there is another also as crazy commanders as I, but I'm glad that you made the thread, and that's it.
Actually, when we were about to leave. Our sign-up number was 112 commanders.
Yeah. So,
than I expected. I expected two at the most. You and me.
yeah, for some time it looked like that it's going to be only you and me. And it would be just fine. It would be just fine for me if this trip would have been only with you and me. But I'm quite glad it turned out like this. So, and last summer when planning the trip and mapping the waypoints and base camps, oh, not the base camps but waypoints, and then came October finally, and we get on the way. And
we had a long wait from May to October.
Yeah, it was so long.
It was a good wait.
I remember expressing my frustration many times. Why can't this begin already? So, because I had nothing to do in the bubble back then. I was like, what to do? I played other games and stuff, and I was really anxious to get on.
Yeah, but you still had your alt, right? In Colonials.
Yeah, I don't remember that I played with my alt that much back then, because it wasn't something I wanted to do. But eventually came October and we get on the way, and the first base camp was 3 Geminorum. And
yeah, it was. Actually, it wasn't.
Well,
it was Basecamp 0.
Yeah, but first.
I fondly remember Basecamp 0. You mentioned that.
Yeah.
Ago, and I fondly remember Basecamp 0 because that was the one of the mass jumps where we have the most commanders in one place at once, and we also had instancing problems. I remember being thrown from the instance several times.
Yeah.
To my great frustration. So I'm thinking about how that would in Distant Worlds 2. If there will probably be another even bigger problem with that many commanders signed up.
I don't think we will see any more like 100 ships instances. I think those are history. Sad to say.
Yeah, I think so too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Camp 0, one of my fondest memory was Jackie Silver's Orca, where she used the Orca to great effect.
Yeah.
Of ramming a pirate that somehow sneaked his way into the instance.
Yeah.
Although I must confess that I may have something to do with that, because just as I was jumping into the instance, got a message from a pirate and saying all that tasty cargo.
Yeah, it was the pirate incident.
I actually brought the pirate into the instance, and
it
I
was
didn't
you.
have any weapons.
It was you.
Yeah. My fault. But luckily we had Jackie there, and she rammed the pirates. I also had a fighter then. I also had a very small ray gun, so I could not possibly have survived that without Jackie and other commanders there.
Yeah, the first.
To me, Inge, would be what on earth would you be taking as cargo on a trip like this?
I'm sorry, what?
Question to me would of course be, why on earth would you be bringing cargo on an expedition like this?
Yeah. And the best.
And the answer is, I do target sensors on board.
Yeah. And the
because what I wanted to do is Zero and a good part along the route, because I wanted to see if I could find any target bases,
Yeah.
When you have the secret messages from the Targoid structure, could use the Targoid. No, it wasn't the Targoid sensor, it was the Targoid link. You could use the Targoid link and play the messages to this Targoid link, and if there were any Targoid bases in the system you currently were in, with containing, of course, an ammonia wall, then the target link would position itself and point to the base. So
yeah,
hit a system with an ammonia wall, I would activate my.
it was nice thinking, but maybe a bit optimistic considering that we are quite far from that.
But imagine if I would have found a target base along our route. Sadly, the messages they are standard in inbox messages. They run out after 30 days, so that was my time of window for finding any target bases, but I didn't find any, sadly. So I had to let my target links go. But that was the reason why the pirate followed me into that Basecamp 0. I had target links on board.
Basecamp 0 mass jump was really sad case. I remember everyone had game crashing and instances were crashing, and it was really sad mass jump.
Yeah, it is.
But after that we've had a bunch of great mass jumps, and so far every mass jump has been great, excluding the first one. But then we arrived really to the Trigia Minorum, and we had Commander Wayland as our first guest, and I believe Commander Wayland is somewhere, I think he's quite opposite of the galaxy where we from.
When I checked up on Wayland a few days ago, he was at the Sros GI-C 1, and that's pretty much the opposite side of the galaxy. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, he's almost back to our final waypoint. Didn't he see right? He was about to hit waypoint 24, so he is about to finish his circumnavigation.
Yeah, he's quite close to it. I was going to check from the galaxy map his whereabouts, but he's in the main menu at the moment, so I can't do that. And I remember another thing from Basecamp 1 was that... Hold on.
Commander Ruckus?
Was it back then when he already had...
Because when we hit Basecamp 1 at Trigia Minorum, one of our commanders already had finished the circumnavigation, and that was Commander Ruckus.
Yeah. That was...
And I listened to the talk show, and your comment was, his ass must have been made of iron.
Yeah, well, hey, 2 weeks. Imagine that. So...
His flatlock, and it did not look like he had made any shortcuts. I think he made all the waypoints.
Yeah.
So that is really impressive.
Yeah. And that's something I couldn't do.
2 weeks, that is really, really fast. And I think one of our commanders is trying to do circumnavigation.
Yeah. I remember another thing with Basecamp 1 was you had scouted the Basecamp beforehand, and then I went there and found those geysers.
The Basecamp.
Yeah.
So I scouted Trigia Minorum a few months before.
Yeah, I remember.
Just to see how it was to get there. And I found a nice spot, but you changed it.
Yeah, I happened to find those geysers back then, and it was really a lucky shot. And then, after that, the trip continued onwards to Basecamp 2. I don't remember what was the name of Basecamp 2. Hold on.
Basecamp 2?
Jank had the list today at the Discord, but I didn't save it, so hold on. Here it is. The first was Razok Step, and the Basecamp 2 was Niflheim Valley. The name of the Basecamp. Yeah, it was really nice. It was the...
Hang on. To Basecamp 2, I have a short comment on, and not just Rukus. So let's see. So guests on the talk show, we like to ask them generally the same questions.
Yeah.
And that was my fault. I'm sorry. And Wayland, that he think Elite Dangerous is the most visual stunning game you've seen.
Yeah.
And one other comment is that he haven't seen a Neutron Star yet at that time, but I think that point on his list has been taken care of.
Yeah, I think so too.
And he also congratulated us on how many viewers we had on the talk show, because our first goal for viewers on the first show, was that 10 viewers?
I can't
I think it was 10
remember.
viewers, but at that time we had 22 viewers, and our next thing, our ambition could be a hostile takeover of CNN.
Yeah.
But I think that there's a long way from 22 viewers to.
And after that Basecamp, our viewer count has been around 10 to 20, between 10 and 20 viewers, and it's quite good, I think, considering that most viewers are from DECE.
I think so too.
But then we get to Basecamp 2.
Not many CNN viewers on
and
DECE talk show.
Basecamp 2 is the Basecamp which was found by Commander Greenberg and me. It was the foggy Basecamp, if I recall right. And
yeah, you called it, what was it named? Niflheim?
Niflheim, yeah. It was originally found by me and Commander Greenberg, and it was the one which got to the, what was the YouTuber who visited the site? Do you remember his name?
Down to Earth Astronomy.
Yeah. It was that Basecamp.
I let him borrow my ship launch fighter.
Nice.
So he could get some nice pictures, and actually he did a video.
Yeah.
He did a video on the Basecamp, and he also took my time lapse video I made of the fog rolling in and out of, what was it just in? Oh, I think it was both ways. Of.
And the funny story with Basecamp 2 was that we didn't know about the fog until the night game. It was just like, well, this is nice, let's put it here. And then the night came, and someone said in the Discord that, what the hell is this fog? I was like, what fog?
What fuck?
Yeah, considering I was the founder, I didn't even know that there was fog. So it was a nice surprise. Like, a bit like those iron magma fumaroles which Jank was surprised by just an hour ago. And we had Claire Yates as our guest back then, and sad to say I haven't heard from Commander Yates for a long time.
Oh, I think the expedition has left him somewhere on
he's way
the south
back.
part of the galaxy. So we.
Yeah, she's really way back.
He has been lost to the expedition, sadly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But you know what? Claire Yates was the first commander who mentioned the Nimdok maneuver.
Really?
It was because we were talking about his SRV blowing up, and he said I didn't have to pull a Nimdok. It was because he put in a customer ticket to have his SRV replaced, but that was the first mention of the Nimdok maneuver, actually.
So Nimdok, it's Claire Yates you can blame for the Nimdok maneuver.
Yeah, he didn't actually say Nimdok maneuver. He just said I didn't have to pull a Nimdok. But
Nimdok said in Twitch chat.
Maneuver was added afterwards.
Nimdok said in the Twitch chat that he thought that it was Simon who invented the Nimdok maneuver. And now that you mention
it, that it was Simon.
Yeah, it might have been Simon. Yes. Well, anyway. So, what else? We had 3 deaths in there: Menji, Platypus, and who else? Who died?
Yeah, I think we had one more. I don't remember the name.
Oh, Platypus, Weezy Platypus. There's one commander we have lost because he was one of our scouts, and I haven't heard from him for a long time also. So, sad to say, we have lost one of our scouts also.
We also lost Menji because he abandoned the expedition too after some time.
Yeah, but it wasn't like he got destroyed or... Oh, he just got bored.
Destroyed, and I think he also got bored because his ship was acting very strangely.
Yeah.
He dismissed his ship, and for some reason it decided to go a bit up and then come down and roll on the planet.
Yeah, I remember.
And it was because of his power plant. His power plant was under.
Yeah, I think he had some problem with
underdimensioned.
Yeah, he had some problems with power management. So
luckily, the customer support gave him his ship back. They also mentioned that they had seen this problem before.
Yeah. By the way, is this our first mass jump from Earth-like world?
I think it is.
Yeah. This looks really nice. So, nice find, Commander Goodchild. I think this is found by Trevor Goodchild, this system. Basecamp was by Jank. Oh no, I think Basecamp was also by Trevor. Oh well. It's already almost half an hour, and we have gotten only to Basecamp 2. We are going to have really fast if we are going to
speed up.
Yeah. So that was Basecamp 2, and Basecamp 3 was Platypus Plateau, and it was found by Weezy Platypus, and its Platypus Plateau is still one of my favorites. It was really nice place. It had the gas giant.
Yeah, that was the base camp really close to a canyon, right? Wasn't it?
No, it was at the top of plateau, and it has water geysers below and the gas giant at the background, and it was really nice location.
Yeah, and our guest was Commander Jackie Silver, and she
I think
her science project she was doing on the expedition.
Yeah.
She was talking about the metallicity analysis of the gas giants.
Yeah, it was the stuff which went over my head so many times I couldn't even count.
I think before the expedition is over, Henke, we need to get Jackie back and tell us more about what she found out, because she wanted to do research into how the metallicity of the gas giants reflected on the rocky walls. So I think we need to get Jackie back and before the expedition ends and talk about science has been. And we also talked a bit about her route.
Yeah.
Jackie Silver is that she has changed ships a lot.
Yeah, and I was just going to say that if we were going to give the most ship change reward to some commander at DECE, it will go to Jackie Silver.
She would earn that reward easily.
Yeah. I have seen her at least in 3 different ships. Orca and Clipper and Anaconda.
Yes.
But that's for those who has time. I don't. I had time only for T10. But yeah, that was...
You do have to have a lot of time for T10, right?
Yeah, but At the moment, I really don't have. If I would like to change my ship, I really wouldn't have the time to go back to the bubble. It's just we are close to Beagle Point, and it's like 60,000 light years. I cannot do it anymore.
If you choose to go back, that will be the worst possible time to do so.
Yeah, agree. So that was Basecamp 3. The Platypus Plateau, I really liked it. We should have done some kind of compilation video of the base camps, but I've been really busy this week, and so I had the idea at the midweek that I would do some kind of compilation video of the base camps, but then, hey, real life, what do you know? So busy, too busy. So, Basecamp 4 came after land.
Basecamp 4 was at, I've looked it up now, and we were getting close to, it was the 9th of December, and it was at 4EURQM-WD1.
Yeah, the Basecamp name was Turning Point Hail Mary Pass. And we had Commander Vex Matraxis. And there's another commander who I haven't heard for a long time. I don't know. I hope Vex is okay, and if you're listening, Vex, we are missing you.
Vex.
Yeah, Vex, our composer who has made the theme song for the talk show. And
yeah, composer and photographer. Some of the most stunning photographs I've seen from this expedition was made by Vex.
Yeah, and Vex made that one song which I still listen at least once a week. I really like it. So I'm looking forward to having some more music from Vex, but sad to say, as I said, I haven't heard from Vex for a long time. So I hope he's okay. And still with DECE. And
actually, when we interviewed Vex, he mentioned that this expedition was his first expedition, as is the case of actually a lot of commanders on the expedition, that this expedition was the first expedition.
Yeah.
I don't think you can go any bigger than this expedition, and for this to be your very first expedition.
Yeah, and by the way, forgot to mention that Claire Yates was also a first timer on a big expedition. Yeah. And at this point I have to say that I'm sorry if the camera is a bit static, but because we have no guest and I have to concentrate on this talking thing, I can't use the camera all the time. I have man brain, I can't do many things simultaneously. So try to bear with me. But yeah, that was Basecamp 4. What else from Basecamp 4?
I noticed when I listened to the talk show was that Vex he said that he likes gas giants, and especially if there are two moons close to the gas giant. And when I heard that, I reflected on the photographs that we've seen from some of the most stunning photographs I've seen from Vex is actually from gas giants with two close moons, where he has landed his Imperial cutter, which is one of the most beautiful ships in the game, in my humble opinion. Is from exact the same setup of planets and gas giants. Really stunning, stunning pictures from Vex.
And yeah, he's with his cutter, and I think he's the only cutter still with DECE, because we had cutters more, and if I remember right, our first crashed commander was Commander K467 with his cutter, and I think that he crashed somewhere after 3 Geminorum.
Yeah.
And because
actually
Vex,
when the
because Vex has the cutter, I really hope that he is still with us, because it would be sad to lose our last cutter.
When the expedition started, we had 4 Imperial cutters signed up.
Yeah, and as far as
Really
I know, we
impressive.
don't have any at the moment if Vex has split. I have to get another beer, so uno momento.
I can skip along to Basecamp 5. Basecamp 5 was, let me see, Basecamp 5 was Christmas, the 23rd of December, so that many commanders at the base camp, but to my surprise, we had a few commanders there. Our guest at Basecamp 5 was was Commander Nimdog.
Yeah, it was the one where I wasn't, because I had real life Christmas stuff. So
we did. The original plan guest couldn't make it, so I asked around the Discord and was kind enough to step in. But he was my second choice, at least. That's what he said.
It's nice that some it's nice that some people doesn't care if they are the second option.
No, I think the interview turned out to be a great interview.
Yeah, it was.
Even
it
if,
really was.
if we surprised Nimdog and grabbed him, or I grabbed him into the show. So. No, we had a very interesting talk, and
yeah, I know. I listened to you guys when I was driving back from my mother-in-law, and it was really great. I laughed so much.
Yeah. So Nimdog is one of those explorers that just love to explore, and
yeah,
I like his thinking, because one of his quotes was that being frontier development, they gave me the entire galaxy to explore.
Yeah, hey, you don't get the Nimdog maneuver for nothing. So
no, exactly. And how many games are out there where you get the whole galaxy to explore in a
yeah,
to how it probably looked like.
I know we are coming back to this later on the show, but there's another commander who said the same, and it was Mickey Shades who said also that he likes the idea that there's the whole galaxy and it's all open for you. So I like it also.
You don't have to stay in the bubble. So.
No, that's a problem for me.
Go out.
With my alt commander, he's in the bubble now, and he's boring the hell out of him.
Yeah, if he's mining, then I guess you're right, because mining is some say it's like sin, but no, I'm not that much into mining.
I like it. It's quite nice way to relax in Elite, but it's only you can do it only a few hours at a time, and then you have to do something else. But yeah, Commander Nimdog at Basecamp 5.
Oh, I have another comment on Nimdog. You know the Newton website, Spench?
Yeah.
.uk. They have a warning there, and the warning goes something like this: if you have a range ship, be warned that using Newton star jumping can get you into a situation where you cannot get out, and that's exactly what happened to Nimdog, because he was going to Colonia in a low jump range ship, and he got stuck after doing a Newton star jump.
Ouch.
He got help from the fuel rats that could he jumponium on board, not enough to get him out of the system, but he got help from a fuel rat that rocks for him, and he could scoop the rocks directly from the planet in his ship, just like Commander Fraudicker did when he attempted his trip to distant worlds to Beagle Point. Warning on the Spanish website, that was a warning directly added after Nimdok's lament.
So Nimdok has caused a warning there, and he has Nimdok maneuver, so he's really going places.
He's an elite dangerous legend.
Yeah. Before we know, there will be systems named after him. You have just arrived to Nimdok. That, by the way, at this point, that fighter flying there reminds me of Commander Wonderflow, who isn't with us tonight because many of you have heard that sadly he crashed yesterday at Basecamp 13 and he's back in the bubble. But he has promised to see us in the Beagle Point, so he's making a run for it, and hopefully we will see him in Beagle Point in 2 weeks. 3 weeks.
Sad to hear he crashed in his
Imperial
Courier. I love to see that Imperial Courier race around the base camp.
Yeah.
Actually, he destroyed one of my fighters.
Really?
It was a fighter, so I didn't care really.
Yeah. And it was nice that...
It was great to see an Imperial Courier in the fleet.
It was fun when he kind of went through the crash and he said in the Discord, was it today or yesterday, that, well, he has said from the beginning that he is going to crash at some point. And he was right. I remember back in Christmas when he said that he's going to crash at some point. Or that he's not going to make the trip because he's going to crash or die. And that's just what happened. He was right.
I always say it's not a question if you will crash your ship in Elite Dangerous.
Yeah.
It is a question of when you will crash your ship in Elite Dangerous. Yeah. So.
But for me it's if, because I'm not going to crash at this journey. That's for sure. I don't want to crash. I don't want to die.
Oh. No, especially if you have a lot of data to sell. I remember when Maya, she crashed after logging into Elite Dangerous and she got restored by customer support. Customer support said that she had 69,000 scans to sell when she comes back. And that is a lot.
That's
a lot of data to lose.
Huge amount. So, Commander Nimdok was at Basecamp 5 and his last words at that talk, so try to make the best of it, born too early, explore the galaxy, born too late to explore Earth. Those were the words of wisdom, Commander Nimdok. By the way, it's 15 minutes until until the mass jump, and we are just coming to Basecamp 6, so only halfway there. So we could always stretch the mass jump if we want to go through all the base camps so far.
No, I don't think so. We'll just speed up the base camp.
So
base camp review
6 was with Commander Eleanor Echo Cho, also known as Penny Umbra. Our Peregrine was her ship's name, and I think she's here somewhere. There she is. The dolphin. Mighty dolphin.
Dolphin. Actually, Penny started a new character starting on this expedition, so she had very little time to get it fully engineered, but well, got the dolphin going, and I like to see the dolphin. It's a nice little ship.
Yeah.
And Penny is one of those commanders who have multiple commanders and
Yeah.
commanders. She is a triple elite, so she is one who spent a lot of time in Elite Dangerous.
Yeah, and I believe
She also done the Sagittarius A buckyball racing, and she did it in 16 hours in a T10.
Yeah, that was nuts.
It is awesome.
Yeah.
And she only facepalmed 1 star.
Yeah. And I
I
believe
also mentioned that
Yeah, continue.
she liked the T10 more than the Anaconda. Actually, she sold her Anaconda, which I...
You know, I have been thinking the same. I really love my T10.
I love my Anacondas.
I know.
I actually hate the T10.
Yeah. Well.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
Kill some Targoids using my T10, but aim the ship obviously because there wasn't any fault on the pilot side, obviously.
Yeah. And by the way, Dolphin was one of the ships I was considering to take to DECE, but it had the one flaw and it doesn't have the multi-crew, which was the option I really wanted to have. But otherwise,
a
really
little bit
Dolphin.
strange, right? Because the Dolphin is a passenger ship, so
Yeah.
one would imagine it had an extra pilot ship.
What else from? What was by the way? What was the? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The Basecamp 6 was named the Crucible. I don't remember who found the Basecamp 6, but the Crucible, was it EI666? I'm not so sure. Oh well. Yeah. And Basecamp 6 also was where we lost Menji, who abandoned the expedition finally. And I was expecting to have Menji back after we have these new planets, but so far he hasn't shown any interest of coming back to DECE.
No, maybe he plans to do the circumnavigation on a later date or some more exploring if the Q4 updates turns out to be a really good update.
By the way, there's Nimdog and Chang saying that they love our stream and our replay of the Basecamp, so we could stretch to the mass jump to the 15 past, maybe, if it's fine by you.
Yeah, I have no problem extending the...
Yeah, so the mass jump will be...
Let's delay the mass jump.
Yeah, 1915.
Good.
So, yeah, I think that was Basecamp 6. And at this point, I have to remember to all that all the Basecamp talk shows and mass jumps are in the YouTube to be found. So if you want to go back and listen to those and see those, they can be found from my YouTube channel. They will be there indefinitely. Basecamp 7, Scout's Folly. Do you remember who we had our guest back then, Basecamp 7?
I have a terrible memory, and the only way I knew our guest from shows 1 to 6 is because I listened to all the shows and 1 to 6.
Yeah, this is because we decided that Macros takes the first 6 and I take the last 6 of the first 12 base camps.
I hope you remember who our guest on
Yes, because I have my notes right here, and we had Commander Wisplend from Beagle Point Expedition.
I remember that one.
Yes,
he was also a late guest on the show. I couldn't find any commanders on the expedition.
Yeah, but she was really interesting guest
So
because
I asked Wisplend.
She was really interesting guest
accepted.
because we are going to meet them in Beagle Point in 3 weeks, and it was really good show, and it was all about Beagle Point Expedition and our meetup. So they had like.
And the really interesting thing about that date and that show and Wishblend being the guest, because they launched the Beagle Point Expedition on the very same evening that we had the show.
Yeah,
so
I remember.
I was a bit surprised that Wishblend accepted to be on the show.
Yeah.
Because I expected him to be busy with the expedition and jumping and all that. But luckily, he accepted to be on the show.
Yeah, and it was really interesting. And I remember she was saying that they have like 400 commanders on PBE, and I'm not in their Discord, so I don't know how their trip has gone so far. But I don't think their forum thread isn't as active as DC's. But I'm still hoping that we will meet them at Beagle Point. And if someone from PP is listening, I am really looking forward to seeing you all there. And we have to come up with some kind of shenanigans at Beagle Point with PPE, some kind of competition. Who goes around Beagle Point the fastest with SRV? Or something stupid like that.
Some flybys, flyovers, and I certainly hope for a mass jump, one or two mass jumps. With 2 fleets combined, that would be absolutely awesome.
Yeah, and as we are so far from the civilized base, I'm hoping that our mass jump would be better than our first mass jump, even if there would be like 50 ships.
But sadly I don't think it has anything to do with how close you are to the bubble or not. It's all up to the instancing, I think. So.
Nimdok is saying SRV deathmatch. I approve. DECE versus BPE. Who wins the SRV deathmatch? I can see already all those participants that match.
I would love to see the mails to customer support.
they would have to force to do some overtime.
Because we had a SRV deathmatch.
Yeah, they'll tell, oh shit, they're arranging a deathmatch. We have to do some overtime now. So that was Basecamp 7, and Basecamp 8 was found by yours truly, Viridis, and it means green. Basecamp 8 was with Commander Chank Sautome as our guest. And I remember Chank has found at least Basecamp 6 and 12, and also has assisted with many other Basecamp scouts.
Chank is one of our scouts, right?
Yes, and he
one of our very excellent scouts.
Yes, and he has done a remarkable job being a scout, and he was really a great find for a scout. He has saved
much kudos to Chank.
Yes, much kudos to Chank, and many thanks to Chank. And he has saved us from many predicaments, because there has been situations where I haven't had the time, and maybe Ian haven't had the time, and Chank to the rescue. And Chank has done a great job with Basecamp scouting, and all my thanks to him.
Yeah, and the scouts has been a really important part of this expedition, because obviously we didn't have any base camp when we started, or almost no base camp, because well, nobody has done this circumnavigation before planning to do any base camps. We just had the waypoints, and that was a rather funny source of confusion at the start of the expedition.
Yeah, and Chang
Commanders mixing up waypoints with base camps.
Yeah, and Chang has been really golden because as I said, he has been helping a lot with the Basecamp, and he really has time to play Elite, more than I, and he plays enormous hours, I think, and he made his trip to Colonia, as he wanted to see the Enigma expedition and stuff like that, and he really has the time, and he has all the stuff what good scout needs, so he has time to play, and he really
I think he jumps a lot, and he also one thing I noticed about Chang is that he also have a knack of finding very interesting systems, but that is because he really spends time in Elite Dangerous.
Yeah, and he does really thorough job with the base camps. We have this DECE Scouts channel which is hidden from everyone else, and he might post like 3 to 4 different suggestions for a base camp, and he really does great job being a scout. All my thanks to Chang. And
to Chang.
It was funny. It was funny when he was our guest at the talk show, and he said that in real life he went so much west that he ended up in Japan. It was quite funny. So, and another
he's also an explorer in real life.
Yeah. And at this point, I have to say to Chang that I'm sorry that during our talk, so my son was crying at the background. I had my door closed, but obviously my son has huge lungs, and next time he's crying, I'm forced to use the mute button in my microphone. That was really bad when I listened to talk show again, and my son was crying like hell. So
I think it adds ambience to the talk show.
Yeah, well, real life, pushing through. And another thing, what happened at Basecamp 8 was when we found out that Vex had plotted 7 Kylies to the wrong direction. That's something which cracks me up still. How can you do that?
And he also did it in his ship, which is, well, an cutter. Imperial cutter. So if you go 7 Ks the wrong way, then guess what? 7 Ks again the right way. So that's 14 Ks in an Imperial cutter. So.
But as I said back then, I still can't understand how is that possible. How do you fly 7 Kylies the wrong direction? I just can't.
It's really, if you're not paying attention, really, because you just do the plot, and for some reason you have the galaxy on the wrong side of you, and then you plot, and then you just, well.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's not possible, but I'm just wondering how it's possible.
Vex has shown us that it is possible.
Yeah, it was. Oh, and
well, I think, after that mistake by Vex, and I always double check that. Oh, let me see. I remember Vex. Do I have my galaxy on the right side? Yes, it's on my right. Yes.
By the way,
and do the plot.
Yeah, stuff like that makes you do that when it happens to others. And by the way, Basecamp 8, we had also our SRV race. It was really fun. Although
that was the funniest Basecamp so far.
Yeah, that was the SRV race, and we
It was
really
really
have to
great
get. We really have to
SRV
get
races,
again.
and I've been thinking we should do more SRV races.
Yes, I agree. And I think at Beagle Point, at least at Beagle Point, we should have some SRV racing.
Yes, absolutely.
And we should arrange more of that kind of stuff because it was really fun, really fun, and I can recommend it to everyone who wasn't there. But all those commanders who were at the SRV races, I know you can agree with me that it was really fun. Although there was little problems with the track layout because not everyone knew where the track went all the time. So we saw some interesting route choices. It was nice to yeah, it was nice to follow. But nevertheless, it was fun. Really fun. So then onward to Basecamp 9, which was named Pale Blue Dot. And I have some kind of recollection that it was found by... No, I'm not saying who found it because I'm not sure. But anyway, Basecamp 9, Pale Blue Dot, and it was with Commander Rojo Habe. I don't know if we have Commander Rojo Habe here now, but it was really interesting conversation with him also. Macros, do you remember how Commander Rojo Habe has his name, commander name?
Yes, that was a funny story, and his name is made out of parts from his real name.
And
two first letters in his first name was letters in his last name, and vice versa on his last name and surname.
yeah.
So that was interesting to hear how he made his name.
And also his last name and his town of birth and his mother's maiden name. But do you remember what was the generator's name? It was the Star Wars name generator.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I don't remember that.
I'm not sure if it was Star Wars name generator because Rojo Habe wasn't sure himself if it was a Star Wars name generator, but it was fun, nevertheless.
I always thought that Rojo Habe sounded like a Mexican name, so I was
I always thought that
a
Rojo
guy
Habe...
with a mustache and a Mexican sombrero.
Yeah, and there was this... Was it with Rojo Habe when we realized that Commander Stully and Commander Hamstelbaster are one and the same person?
I discovered that too when I saw one of the posts from Commander Stuli.
Yeah.
That actually made sense because I saw on a very large part of the first part of the expedition as one of the tags on the systems, and then Stuli for some reason stopped, and then I saw Hamster Blaster.
No, it's Hamster Bastard. It's Hamster Bastard.
But I must admit, I think Hamster Blaster is a more
Hamster Bastard.
What is the word? More BC explorer than Commander Stuli, because I definitely remember I saw Hamster Blaster a lot more times than I saw Stuli.
Well, I haven't seen Hamster Bastard for a long time now.
So he has been really busy. No, it's a long time since I've seen Hamster Bastard, but you know what? I still see Commander All IT Nil. Yeah. So when I see all lit nil, I know I'm not going the wrong way, or that I'm near the fringe. It is kind of comforting now when I see.
Yeah.
And I know I'm in the right place.
Also, Commander Rojo, I remember when he said that he didn't have the money for Anaconda for DECE because of our little... He had little trunk flying mishap. So it was fun because he said that he's a Distant Worlds veteran, but he lost his money because he flew drunk with Anaconda and he crashed it.
Never fly drunk. Never fly without rebuy.
But hey, I have been drinking 2 beers now and I'm flying.
I've been drinking
So
too,
good.
but that's been coffee today, Henka.
You don't have your beer?
Not today. I didn't have time.
6 months and
Go
you
for it,
don't
yeah.
have your beer. Shame on you, man.
I had
Shame
one
on
beer
you.
2 weeks ago, so a beer at Beagle Point. I can always look forward to one beer at Beagle Point.
That's fine. Then we have Basecamp 10 after that, and that was over the rainbow.
Penny posted a picture from Basecamp 10 on Discord.
Really?
That was also a jump from a ring.
Yeah,
It Henka.
really. Yes, it was. Yeah.
And I see 2 Imperial cutters on that picture.
Oh. Are they both cutters? I think that other one is...
And the other one is
It's Clipper.
don't remember the name.
Other one is Clipper and other one is... Or is that Clipper?
That is
don't
2
know.
Imperial cutters.
Oh, really? Yeah, might be. Might be. So, Basecamp, then we had...
Penny says it's Vex and Taz.
Ah, Dasbird, of course. Yeah, I forgot about Commander Dasbird, who has also cutter. Yes. I forgot about him. Sorry about that. But at the moment we don't have even one cutter at the mast jump site. So we have Commander Wonderflow, who sadly, as I said, crashed yesterday at Basecamp 13, and that was with you only because I had real life stuff at that weekend. Our Imperial Courier Commander, who makes his flybys at the mast jump sites, and I think that crash was coming to him sooner or later because of those flybys. Not because those flybys, but because of his really fast courier.
Because he tried to land when on the dark side of the base camp. When I was going in, it was really dark too. So I made sure to adjust my speed. Not that I have any speed like the Imperial Courier.
Yeah, but I was saying just not because of his flying, but because of the speed of his courier. And I think that even the small movements with your throttle might be catastrophic with courier. So I don't know how it happened, but I'm guessing that courier isn't maybe the easiest to control with high speeds.
I think you're right.
Because his courier, I remember that he said that it boosts like 700 meters per second. That's
like that. It is really fast.
Because he had enhanced thrusters.
Yeah, the performance enhanced thrusters.
Yeah. And Commander Wonderflow is one of those commanders who participated in Distant Stars, the one-way trip to the highest point of the galaxy.
I had the expedition.
Yeah, I remember when Dr. Kai announced the Distant Stars, but I was like, is this Distant World 2? but then the Dr. Guy was no. Then I was like, no, oh well, I'm not in then. Because it wasn't something I was really interested of. So, but Commander Wonderful was, and he liked it. And now I look at the clock and it says 19:11, and that would mean that we would have only 4 minutes until the mass jump. So do we have to stretch it to 15 minutes yet still? Or do we hurry up the rest of the 2 of the base camps?
Let's just hurry up. I think we can make the 2
okay
base camp.
Well, we hopefully see Commander Wonderflow at Pickle Point in 3 weeks, and Godspeed to him making his way back to the Pickle Point in his career again.
Wonderful.
And Basecamp 11 Beyond, found by yours truly, was with Commander Erwin Liamson, our only Kiwi commander. Kiwi because I believe that he lives in New Zealand. And he's usually flying completely at different time zones than most of us, and he's a bit ahead of us at the moment. But he's also Distant Worlds veteran. I remember I was with Python with Erin at Distant Worlds, and it was nice. And Erin has the record of having the first Python to Pickle Point back with Distant Worlds.
I remember another commander of this expedition that also took a Python to Distant Worlds. His name was that was you, Henke.
Yeah, it was me. I think we have to stretch to 19:30 because I don't want to hurry this up too soon, and we have only a minute until the mass jump. So we will stretch the mass jump to, if it's okay to you, Macros. Because
why don't we just do the mass jump and then continue the talk show? I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So let's just go ahead and do the mass jump in 1 minute.
Yeah, we
and
can
then
do that.
just continue the talk show, because we don't have to finish the talk show when we do the mass jump.
We can do that.
So stretch the talk show and do the jump at 9:15.
Okay, so mass jump will commence at 19:15 in 1 minute. So while waiting, I can continue. And where was I? Yeah, Erin, our New Zealander. Erin was the founder of our Nasdaq system. I haven't checked the system how many names there is already, but
I think EDSM shows 35 systems right now, so 35 commanders must have tagged the system, and that is quite awesome.
Yeah. And there's plenty of room for more, and I believe we should be a lookout for another Nasdaq system. And here we go for the mass jump. What? Nice. Nice. Really nice. It's funny when you can hear the jump sounds before the actual jump happens.
It's really amazing.
Mm-hmm. And again, you left me alone here, you bastard. I'm all
Wait
alone.
for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Pictures.
Someone said in the Discord that we should be a lookout for another Nasdaq system, because there's few commanders who has missed the Nasdaq system. One of them being Commander Long John Silver, who missed the Nasdaq system actually.
Yeah, he flew past it in his
sadly
his pace to get to us.
He asked in the Discord if there will be another mass tag system, and I don't think that's a bad idea. Or what do you think?
I think so too. So if any of you commanders find a system with a lot of planets, bodies to tag, then by all means tell us and we will promote it to a mass tag system.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be like 100 body system. I think we can manage with a little less. Like
35 is enough. Oh, well,
I think
40
you go
body
50,
systems?
50, 60, 50 bodies would be enough, I think.
yes.
So if some of you come across with something like that, let us know in the forum or in the Discord, and we will make the new mass tag system. If there is someone who wants it. There's plenty of time yet. Another 6 months, actually. Where did everyone jump? Where did you go? There you are. I could jump also. And. But yeah, it was. I have good memories from Distant Worlds with Erwin when we were with Pythons, and we saw each other many times at Basecamps or waypoints at Distant Worlds, and it was our own little Python club, which consisted of.
I remember seeing 3 or 4 Pythons on Distant Worlds.
Yeah. And Erwin said in our talk show that he is going to Distant Worlds 2 also with the Python, with the same hull, and after that I have been thinking real hard if I really should do the same. Because I really like the Python. And with a little engineering you can get it to jump like 41, 42 light years. But
I really like the Python too, but only as a mission ship. On a expedition, although I brought my Imperial Cutter on the expedition, so
yeah.
So there is that.
Yeah, and but after Erwin said that he is going to take the Python, I have been thinking if I should also, but I really want to see how will the Distant Worlds 2 will fold out and what it will consist of. How much will Frontier come forward?
If you will do much mining on Distant Worlds to supply the mega ship that may or may not be tagging along on the expedition.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Then again, the Python is a very good mining ship.
Yes, it is. I have done a lot of mining with Python. But there's still time. There's huge lot of time until Distant Worlds 2. And as I said, I want to see how much will Frontier bring to the Distant Worlds 2. If they will provide a mega ship with us or something like that. So I will decide my ship much later. But that was Basecamp 11, and now we get to the Basecamp 12, which was 2 weeks ago. Hammer and Anvil. And this was found by Chunk, another great Basecamp. And we had last minute guest Commander Mickey Shades. It was funny. It was funny when I asked like 1 hour before the talk. So I asked you in Discord, "Who's our guest?" and you were like, "I don't know." It was really.
It's funny how it turns out that way. That so many of our guests has turned out to be last minute guests that I have hijacked from Discord.
Yeah, and I was actually surprised how many commanders declined. How can you decline from something this awesome?
That's one thing I really don't understand either, Henka.
Yeah,
but
you get to be a guest in our show. What's the matter with you? If you're declining, you don't know what you're missing. Just saying.
Will not be famous if you don't attend the DECE talk show. Once for fame.
But so far, all our 12 guests has said that it was really fun being as a guest, and some of those guests said that it was real honor. So
Yeah, that too.
if Macros is asking you as a guest, please do not decline, because we love having you as our guests. And we love
having guests.
Yeah, because
Yes, we do.
talking to each other is pain in the ass.
Oh, come on.
Oh,
Henke.
not really.
Like,
I was just kidding. You silly.
To you, Henke. You know that.
Yeah. But yeah, we had Basecamp 12 and Commander Mickey's Shades, and this was the one talk show which I really didn't have time to listen properly, because as I said, I've been really busy, and sad to say, I got to listen only half of the talk show, and well, I loved when Commander Shade said, when you asked him that why did he decided to join DECE, and he said that because it was there.
Yes.
It's the best argument I have heard for joining DECE, because it was there. Well, what else do you need? It was there, so I joined.
Need anything else?
You don't need anything else.
Need the biggest expedition ever planned in Elite Dangerous to be there.
Yeah. And Commander Sage is also one of the Distant Worlds veterans, and I remember being at some base camp with Mickey Shades at Distant Worlds, and he has also done a lot of exploring, I think. I remember he saying that he don't like combat, and he does exploring a lot, and he's the one who said that he really likes that there's a whole galaxy in front of you and you can do anything you want. You can go anywhere you want. 400 billion systems.
Just like Nimdok said.
Almost, yeah. And sad to say, as I said, I didn't have time to listen to the whole talk, so I have been again really busy. So it was really good talks. I should listen it again, because Mickey had really a lot to tell, and he's one of those commanders who has done a lot of exploring. And
yeah, I think I have crossed at least one or two systems of Mickey Shades.
Yeah, I have been seeing
on my travels to and from Colonia.
Yeah. And what else?
So what, Henke, we can do another recap show when we have completed another quarter of the journey, when we are somewhere on the eastern side of the galaxy. Then we can come back to Basecamp 12 and recap some of Mickey Shade's comments.
Basecamp 12, by the way, also included our Commander Long John Silver making his return to the fleet.
Yeah,
so
that was really nice to hear that he came back, that he had his hardware problem solved.
Yeah, and
wait,
at the same time, someone had a message from Simon Wood saying that he's back with Elite. But I don't think
so
that he's coming back
there is
to
a
DECE.
small chance we'll see Simon Woods again.
Yeah, but I don't think that
I really
he's
hope
coming
we do
back
for
then. Yeah, but I don't put my hopes up having him back with DECE.
No, let's keep our fingers crossed
Mm-hmm.
to the expedition.
Yeah, but it was nice to hear that Long John Silver came back, because so far we have been only losing commanders instead of getting them back. So it was nice.
It was nice to hear that he's back with us.
Yeah, and I have to make this jump. So our 1 hour special halfway has stretched to 1 hour and a half. So this was something.
We failed on our initial goals, Henka.
Yeah, and I was a little bit.
Failed miserably.
Yeah, I was guessing this because it's usually when you go through things, it's just typical that it will stretch.
Yeah, things take longer than you planned.
Ooh, Waterworld at 237,000 light seconds. I have to get that. But yeah, I was thinking today earlier that 1 hour for all the 12 base camps, that's not going to be enough. And so it happens, it wasn't. But it was.
And you know what, Henka? I also had planned some videos that you declined to show.
Yeah, and guess why?
So if we had to include those two, then we would be closing up on a 2-hour talk show.
I don't think that 2 hours would have been enough with the videos.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's really time consuming.
No, don't get me wrong. The videos themselves weren't that long. I've cut them down to very, very short videos, 1 minute max.
Yeah,
But
as you said, we can do a recap at least at the final base camp, if not earlier. So, but
yeah, I'm not well right now. I'm not sure what kind of talk show at our last mass jump into the last system.
Yeah, that might be something.
Make it special. You and I, we talked about inviting someone from Frontier to join us, right?
Yeah, and that's something.
But to make it, I've been thinking about that, and I think I would prefer that it would be one of our own expedition that would join us as a guest, because well, having someone from Frontier joining us would be special, but
hey, I don't say no to David Braben.
No. I wouldn't say no to Ed if he joins us and announces that we get a decal for being on this expedition. Then definitely not.
I'm not keeping my hopes
So
up.
you mentioned something about Bo Merritt.
Did I?
Yes, you did. Not as a talk show guest, but
in the Discord.
You got a hug from Bo, so you have a special personal relationship with Bo Merritt?
No, it was only the Frontier community meet back in Cologne last August. I saw Bo and Ed there, it was nice. So did you, I believe, at Frontier Frontier Expo? Or did you see that?
Yeah, I was at the FX 17. I met Ed, and also a lot of it was kind of nice being there, because I met a lot of commanders I've known in game but never met personally.
Yeah.
At Aramus, actually.
Is he a real person?
Aramus? I can confirm that Aramus is a he's a real nice chap.
Yeah, I can believe
And
that.
I also met a lot of guys from the Canon group.
Yeah.
From Children of Raxler.
Yeah.
Which is part of the player group.
Yeah.
Actually, I met 2 commanders at the hotel I stayed at. On the very morning the expedition should start, I met Commander Eisen and I met Commander Baroness Galaxy,
I believe
which I also met
Yeah.
met Eisen and Distant Worlds.
I believe I met them also at the Frontier Community Meet at Cologne last year. Are you going to the Frontier Expo this year? Or were you planning to go?
So if I'm planning to go this year, I don't know. If I plan to go, then I don't know. And it depends on what they are planning to show us. Because, well, actually meeting the commanders was more fun than actually hear the announcements, I think.
Yeah. And will there even be a Frontier Expo this year? That's another question.
Good question. I haven't heard any announcements yet. If I'll be going the FX 18 hangar.
Am I coming? No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
You went hangar, then I definitely would go there.
I can't think that far yet, so I don't dare to say anything yet at this point. But we will see at the end of the summer if there even will be a Frontier Expo.
Yeah, we'll see. But I now that I come to think of it, I will be surprised if they don't have an expo, because, correct me if I'm wrong, but Jurassic Park is about to come out.
Oh yeah, that might be there.
After the expo.
Yeah, that might be the one thing that they are showing there. And why not Elite, of course?
Not that I'm that interested in Jurassic Park, actually.
Oh, yes, you are.
Care less about Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Well, it's Elite Dangerous, but I think of Jurassic Park as a good exercise, if you can call it that, to practice our space legs.
Yep.
Not that I particularly would enjoy stepping out of my Imperial cutter and walk into the mouth of a T-Rex. Particularly.
Yeah.
But it would be, and then again, the gameplay I've seen in Jurassic Park has not involved, if you will, per se.
Yeah.
The building of the cages for the dinosaurs. I haven't seen any humans or virtual humans walk around in the park.
I haven't really watched those streams because I'm not yet sure. I'm going to most likely buy the game, but I want to see them in game when I play them myself, because those videos they reveal some things of the plot, if there is a plot, or some things from the gameplay which I don't want to see yet. So I want to keep them as a secret. For me.
I've seen some of the videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
And Jurassic Park as a game looks a lot like Roller Coaster to me.
It looks like a time sink, and time is it's something I don't have.
Thanks, really.
But I think our
Elite Dangerous being the king of time sinks.
Yeah, definitely. I think our halfway special talk show, we got where we wanted, and even it got a little bit longer than we thought initially, but I think we got what we wanted, and it was going through all the Basecamp so far, 1 to 12, and we don't
We may be revisiting Basecamp 12.
Yeah, and maybe a really quick revisit of them all when the last Basecamp comes upon at some point, but that's something we will look into at next September maybe. Because we have no idea what the last Basecamp will bring, so...
No, not yet.
No, that's a long time. That's 6 months away yet, almost.
Yeah, and then Henka, you will have plenty of time to do your Basecamp video review, right?
Yeah.
As you promised in this show.
Yeah, it was something I had in mind, but hey, I just damn real life. All I can say.
Oh, real life happens.
It just happens sometimes. But I think we will get things wrapped up here, and I hope everyone has been enjoying the show, which has been almost 2 hours long. And my
2 hours, and imagine I was a bit worried that we couldn't fill out 1 hour. But
we could fill up 3 hours
shame.
Because I had prepared something for you, but I don't think we have the time now for that, so let's keep that as a secret and do it at some
No, I hate
time.
secrets. Henka, do it now, do it now, do it now. What is it? I love surprises.
Well, I was going to interview you as my guest, but I think we can leave that to someone.
That is definitely going to take too long.
Yeah, because my ass is sweating like, well, you can imagine. I have been sitting here for the... Yeah. But this was our 6-month special live stream, and thank you all who were watching, and thank you, Macros, chatting with me almost 2 minutes. It was fun. And who needs guests? Who needs guests as we can...
Who needs guests?
Yeah.
But that being said, if you're asked by Macros to join as a talk show guest, then by all means we would love to have you on as a talk show guest.
Yeah. And Nimdok says in the chat that he can interview us both someday. That would be one way to do it.
That could be fun.
Yeah, that could be. Keep them coming, those talk show ideas. We really need them. No, we don't. But that's really...
Yeah, I think the format with the guest on the show works really well.
Yeah, I think so too. But Nimdok, that's still a nice idea. Let's put that in the thinking hat. But I think that's it for this talk show live stream. And next, by the way, there's still no information of Basecamp 14, but Commander Arnoldo is onto it all the time, and
that's good.
It's only, I think he will find it soon, so we will have the information. But while waiting, you can get your ships towards waypoint. Was it 25? Right? Lone Star, yes.
Lone Star.
Waypoint Lone Star. And the Basecamp 14 will be around Lone Star or somewhere close to Lone Star. Most likely. So when Basecamp 14 will be known, it will be informed. So you will get the information as soon as possible. But for me, I think this is the Basecamp 13 talk show. And thank you all.
See you in the black, commanders.
Yeah, see you in the black. And next time we might have a guest. Or then maybe not. We will see in 2 weeks. From me, bye for now. See you next time.